Hello friends, welcome to this video, and this is going to be another video on MNIST classifier, but this time we are going to use a recurrent neural network for classifying the MNIST dataset. I know you all will be thinking, why are we using a recurrent neural network for a MNIST dataset where we have to classify images? Okay, but don't worry, I have another video on MNIST classifier using a convolutional neural network using Keras TensorFlow, so you can click on that I button and see that video. Okay, but this time we are going to use recurrent, and we want to see the performance of MNIST on a recurrent, that is an LSTM basically, or a simple recurrent neural network. Don't worry, these all are basically recurrent neural, but some little bit changes and some tuning, some setting changes in it, which make one perform better than other. So let's dive into our code. First of all, we are going to import our libraries and frameworks. We are going to import TensorFlow STF. Okay, import TensorFlow dot Keras dot layers skl. Okay, now the dataset MNIST. We are going to use MNIST dataset. tf.keras dot datasets dot MNIST. Now we are going to extract the training and testing dataset. Xtrain, Ytrain, and now the testing Xtest and Ytest. Okay, using the function load data. And now load data. And now we are going to normalize the images, that is Xtrain and Xtest, so that they can have the value between 0 and 1. And that will make it easy for the neural network to converge. Okay, now it's time for the model. It's going to SimpleRNN first, then we are going to use LSTM GRU and everything else. Inputs KL dot input. Now shape is going to be 28 by 28. Now it's time for the layers, so is equals to KL dot RNN. Okay, now the number of units, let's make it to 64. Activation is equals to be reload. Relay is the preferred activation function because it's fast and it performs better than other. And now outputs. KL.dense 10 unit. Activation is going to be softmax. Now it's time to build the model. First we are going to provide it the inputs and the outputs. Now I'm going to print the summary of the model. Now first we will run the program till now and see for any error. Okay, so we have an error with this RNN. It should be SimpleRNN, I think. Okay, it should be SimpleRNN. So this is the our basic model, provided with 28 by 28 images. Then it going through a SimpleRNN cell with 64 units, and then a densely with 10 outputs, basically ranging from 0 to 9, and using a softmax activation. here. So we are going to get the one output. Now we'll compile it. Compiling, optimizer. Let's use Adam once again. Now loss function. Sparse category, cross entropy. Now metric. Accuracy. Let me just change these are disturbing. Okay, so we have compiled the model. Now we are going to run the fit function on the model. Object xtrain, ytrain, epoch 5. Okay, now after that we will test the model on the test dataset and find out the test loss and test accuracy using the evaluate function. Xtest, ytest. Okay, now we'll print loss, accuracy, format, test loss and test spelling mistake, typing errors. So simple lines of code, nearly 22 line. Now let's run it, see for any error. Okay, we have seen this error. You can get rid of these kind of extra lines which TensorFlow usually provide to you, but just starting a simple line. First you need to import operating system, then os.environ and simple line tf.cpp min log level, and then write to here. Now they won't disturb you again. So we are having loss of 0.57 and accuracy of 81. So it seems like RNN is not performing better on a image kind of data set. In feed forward and convolution you will see a better accuracy, but that's not bad in the first epoch. You can see next we have 92 and a loss of 0.25, then 21, accuracy of 93. Now let's wait. And now our loss remain to 0.18 and accuracy reached to 0.94. And now we have just this last epoch left, and I think it's going to reach 0.95. We have reached 0.95, so we have a loss, we have much more loss than any other model could have given. So loss is 0.15 and accuracy is 0.9534. So this proves that RNN is not good for this kind of data set, but because we are testing, so we are going to do it. Now let's use LSTM. Same configuration, just changing the LSTM from simple RNN to LSTM. Now let's run the same code again, same thing. So we have greater number of parameter, but now you can see these extra line are not disturbing. But if you have a graphic card which support CUDNN, then you can use, instead of LSTM you can use CUDNN LSTM, and it's going to give you faster result. It's faster. It has high performance value. So let me stop this. And but the thing is that it does not have any activation function. We just need to provide the number of units, and now we'll run it again. Previous time. Now this is fast, you can see. Just take a second, and here it still have 21 seconds. So we have 86, 96. So it's performing better than SimpleRNN, and I hope we should get a loss around 0.10 or less. So we have lost nearly 0.05, half than max expectation, and good accuracy. So you can see SimpleRNN is not good, but LSTM is good for this. So now let's try instead LSTM GRU, gated recurrent unit, and LSTM stand for long short term memory. These both cells, that is the LSTM and GRE, have gates in them, that is forget gate and input gate. So various gates. So these various gates help them to deal with the data, the data, what they have to remember, what they have to forgot, what they have to delete. So this kind of situation. Now let's focus on this. Let's not dive into the into the structure of the LSTM or this. So you can see, so we can see that we have a loss 0.06 and accuracy of 0.9788. So here LSTM perform better than the GRU, but we can, because there are random, we have not set the seed, so we can say that these may be these differences may be because of the randomness. So I hope you will have got the concept of RNN, SimpleRNN, LSTM and GRU on the MNIST dataset. So I hope you all like the content. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friend, and subscribe to my channel, and also hit that bell icon for the future videos. Thank you.